What we normally do, whatever is supposed to come into this gathering that is therapeutics, applications are being made to us. We give permit for those that don't come to us. Then when they reach at the key, we also give a permit to refer to as trial panel. There's somebody at the key, there's also somebody at lobby that looks at virtually everything before they are released. But they are made available, definitely those are the times we can give permit. If they don't report to us, then because a lot of the area issue that sometimes needs to be a collaboration between all of us.
Have you been collaborating?
Yeah, we do.
Because you know tramadol is dispensable.
Yeah.
And it's been abused.
When we had sector was so called, we even met the city recently. We had a discussion that indeed whatever comes in that is therapeutic we need to be informed. So that guys will go in there and do the necessary thing that they are supposed to do. We have agreed on that, and she has given me her word that way forward. Everything that comes in that is therapeutic will be called upon.
So before now you've not been collaborating?
Well, we are. Whichever you look at it, whenever somebody comes in, and she came in, we had to meet her. Even the previous one that was there, we met him as well. I had a discussion over this issue.
Thank you. Honorable members, we have listened. It is strongly rumored that these drugs pass through our key. It is strongly rumored. We want to listen to the Director General of the Sierra Leone Button Harbour to give us an insight. And what you are the landlord. You are the landlord for all agencies within the key. You want to tell us what is happening at your key?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and then good morning to all honorable members. I am Yanko Asker, the Director General of the Button Harbour Authority. I'll start by explaining our functions at the port as the landlord. Since 1964, when we established the port was acting as service port. That means we were doing everything. But we changed our act in 2015. Basically, we were doing the role as service port, but we were actually doing the role as landlord port, but our act was not telling the truth. So basically, we had to change our act quite recently, and now our act speaks to what we do. So, in that light, we have various operators at the port, starting from Pharmacy Board, Police, CCOP, and the likes. I will not go through the successes that we have made so far. This is not the first time that we have been engaged by extra people coming to the port asking regarding that you're having Class A goods passing through the port. We will not say no, and then we cannot answer.
Sorry, which one is the Class A goods? Is it the drugs?
Class A goods start from harmful drugs all the way to explosives. So we have different ways of handling them at the key. So today we are here talking about drugs, so to say. As the previous speakers mentioned, that this KUSH that we are talking about comes in different pieces, meaning acetone as well as marshmallow. And then the Pharmacy Board have made it very clear that they have laws and they give permit to some of these people coming in with these drugs to the port. And then I remember vividly when I was the deputy at the port, I was in charge of championing all illegal goods entering the port. We fought, and we managed to cut it down. It is actually difficult for you to track some of this cartel. Why? I can assure you that with teamwork we can do it. So, 4 months back, we have not got any evidence or any catch regarding KUSH from the port because of the mechanisms we put in. I called several meetings with the customs, called several meetings with CCOP, several meetings with TOCO, several meetings with the police, because they are all at the port. We are just like a landlord. We don't even have operational roles that we play. But when something happens at the port, they will just take my picture and put it in the front line. But I can understand the situation. Like you rightfully mentioned, this is not a fight for APC, it's not a fight for SLP, this is a fight for Sierra Leone. And then we should make sure that we put hands on them to see that we fight this fight. So on that note, we have 37 cases waiting for the law courts to take verdict. And then it will be disheartening to know that some of these people, some of these perpetrators here, you can still see them on the street of Freetown roaming about. So it's high time for us to see how best we can get all of those in charge for us to have a discussion on this. So this will leave me again with 4 major things that I think we must be discussing again. One that has to do with institutional collaboration. Because for me and the boss, we'll do KUSH, hand it over to Toku, and then it's in the hands of Toku and the police for them to do the rest. And then police will take them to court. It will be in the hands of the judiciary for them to do their own bit. But if we fail to understand the role of different institutions, and then the blame always come down again to some others that they think they are not involved, then we are missing the whole point. Secondly, we should hold those in charge responsible. We're having a lot of them in this country roaming about without doing anything to them. So if you are chasing the boats, you are chasing customs, you are chasing NIA, you are chasing pharmacy world, then we are getting the whole thing wrong. You know how many porous borders that we have now? You know how many jetties that we have in Freetown? You know how many roads that are leading to Sierra Leone that we have in Freetown? But when something happens, they say, yeah, it comes from the port. So it's high time for us to change this narrative. And then the third one has to do with, again, even the parents that knows that their children are taking this, they have responsibility again to play. Because if you are blaming those coming in with them, and then you leave your children that is under your auspices that is taking it, then you are getting the whole thing wrong. So it's high time again, honorable members and Mr. Chairman, for us to look at certain critical things that will bring this thing to an end. Finally, I think there are laws to certain things. We need to look and invite the laws. Laws to punish people, laws to give again value to people to come in with harmful drugs. I think I'll rest my case here for now and then listen to the conversation, and then I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You said we have 37 cases with pending judicial action.
Yes, please.
We want to have a full detail of these cases. And again, no, you see, you will come back to you.
Okay.
We also want to know if the acetone and the marshmallow passes through the key, and if they always have clearance from the pharmacy board. And we want to know who the pharmacy board gives clearance at the end of the day, because if the composition of the KUSH is acetone and marshmallow, as have been said by CMO and DG, we want to know who gives clearance and who are the importers of this acetone and marshmallow. NRA, you are collecting our taxes, and we believe whatever tax you collect, there are people, whatever charges you put on goods, these are goods that have been declared to you, and you have proven beyond reasonable doubt that these are goods that are worth taxing. We call you here deliberately because you can also be affiliated. We believe you cannot tax goods that are not taxable, whether or whichever monies they are bringing. The fact that they are not supposed to be used this year, you should not tax them. And the rumor is also very strong that these goods, the substances are passing through our keys, and they are principal in the clearance of our continent and Pakistan. You want to tell us anything as a panel? You have been recorded, you have been viewed. This is a live program, the whole country and the world is watching. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman. May I stand? Permission to stand? Thank you very much for inviting us to this very important meeting or hearing. It is high time, I believe, that we declare war on KUSH, because as a mother and also as a citizen, I think it's important that we address this issue, or begin or continue to address this issue. And I hope that at the end of this meeting, we'll be able to come together with some actionable recommendation. I have here with me my commissioner for customs, Mr. Tennyson Mio, and then also my director of legal, Madam Martina. They joined me in this meeting. For me, I am going to have a discussion from a collective and participatory approach. Mr. Bio just mentioned about the different players that are at the port. But for us, NRA, not only at the port or at the quay, every border crossing point, we have representation. As long as it's supposed to be manned, we have representation there, and we have others represented also there. But I just want honorable members and the audience to know that it is deliberate when it comes to contraband. The essence of contraband is to hide. Bring things in, you hide. Our job as customs is to uncover what you hide. And we try to do that as best as possible using different ways and information. If we have intelligence, that will guide us. If we have other information, that will guide us. But this process of uncovering is like hide and seek. The people who bring illegal drugs, their job is to hide. They will do anything. We have heard that they will hide things in shoes, they will hide it in different ways. But our job is to uncover it. And I think we have been doing a great job at that, and we will continue doing that. The only recommendation that I will make, and to just buttress my brother's point, is we have to work as a team. Because it isn't only customs that is down there at the quay or at the airport or at the borders. We have other participants. So it is important that we share information. It is important that we act on information as soon as we get them for the better good for everyone. We have been very active as an institution in making sure that what is not supposed to come in this country come. So I will continue to make a commitment to you, and whatever we resolve to do here today, just rest assured that NRA will continue to participate, NRA will continue to lead, and we will continue to do our best. So we'll ensure that this menace is controlled, and not only controlled, but eradicated in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. NRA, have you ever captured illegal drugs in your job? Any of the crossing, border crossing areas or have you ever?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time that was done?
I know clearly sometime last year we intercepted contrabands, and the record will show that we did that in collaboration with others. And Togo ONS was there, because usually when that is done, we put them on the lock and key. Last year we did that, and then as recently as I don't know, earlier this year we did, but we do it in collaboration with others.
Did you inspect all the containers that you?
Well, no, we are not able to do that. That's why we have systems in place. We have a scanner. If we're able to trade facilitation, if we're to inspect all of the containers that leave the quay, it will take a while. So we don't do that, but we act on intelligence, and then we have the scanners that help guide us.
Honorable members, the fact that we don't have the capacity and ability to scan to verify all of what is brought in. We rely on intelligence. So if the person that is importing in class A drugs, class A goods, right? If it's so secretive and the intelligence doesn't leak, then it's safe to bring whatever he or she wants to bring.
Well, I would not say that per se. And that's
because
why.
when the rumor, like, sorry man, the rumor you have just said that it is that rumor that they put they transit these things into shoes, into plastics, into bread, into this. And then we have no means of verifying when they get the key. And the quantum of drugs in town now, I believe most of them either comes through the key or the box because of the quantum. Go to our villages, go everywhere in this country now, they have drugs. That means the quantum is extremely very large. That's not small quantum, it's not something you put in a plastic bag and walk with. Because if the drugs is taken over. So, okay, we'll ask questions. Thank you.
DG, sorry, Madam DG. Commissioner. Are you aware of the quantum of containers that were arrested at the water that contain some of those substances?
I think I did mention that last year.
Okay, thank you.
Where are the containers? Where are the containers?
I'm sorry?
Where are the containers? The ones that were arrested.
I'm not clear. The question is not clear.
What's the status of those containers?
So usually based on practice, when the container, if there's a contraband, it's not a container. It is items in the container. So generally, if there are contrabands in the container that gets intercepted by our team, other players, other stakeholders are involved. For example, ONS could be called, TOCO could be called, and what we will do is we will isolate whatever that contraband is and put it under lock and key manned by all of these stakeholders. So if there has been in the past, it's not a full container of items, of contrabands. Usually they are concealed. So it is one or two items. So what we will do is we will isolate it and put it under lock and key, manned by all of these stakeholders.
Okay, you see that we'll come to that later. We'll come to that. I have more questions.
Thank you very much. We also recognize the chairman and team for National Civic Education and Democracy. They are here. They have also been doing a very good job in the area of reducing the intake of harmful drugs. Honorable members, we have the Inspector General of Police. Mr. Inspector General of Police. You have listened to everybody. Everybody. We have listened to the CMO. The CMO have told us about the effects of these drugs. And for those registered at the mental home, you are seeing the increase from 2020 to 2023. It's worrying. That's for those that are registered. I believe, and we all believe on this side, that those that are not registered, they are triple that number that are the kissing mental. Some few days ago, you heard from the Ministry of Social Welfare and the NDLA that they were able to have an inmate of 30 people, that 50. Today, all of those 50, with the protection of the army and the police, 14 of them escaped from that center. Today, Mr. IG, if you go to our communities, almost every community now have a ghetto. Almost every community have a ghetto. And the most unfortunate thing is, most of these ghettos are closer to police stations. Most of these ghettos are closer to police stations. And if you go to our communities, for us coming from rural areas, small villages, most of our villages have police stations, but also have ghettos. So, if we are going to fight this push, this menace, these drugs, the police should be on top of their game. Because if you have listened to all, they have just told us. And one thing the Director General of Ports told us is those that are reporting these goods all around town. And some of them, it is remote, they are very close to police officers. When we moved this motion, I had several calls. If you look at the social media, names we announced. These are tip-off for the police. Not that these names are actually these allegations, but they are names all over social media that have been known that these are the principal importance of these illegal goods. So Mr. N.G., as head of the police and head of our security, you are extremely very pivotal with the head of the judiciary. All over this country, all over. Even residential areas today have ghetto ports. That is no KUSH. So we are here as representatives of the people. It's our concern. We have listened to everybody. That is why we have called you last from the speakers to explain to you, to us. You are part of the key. You are part of the community. Because the DG said you are part of that key. What do you have to tell us?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want me to stand on existing protocols to say good afternoon to honorable members of Parliament here and members of the other MDAs and the Fourth Estate. Mr. Chairman, one thing I always say is if I'm to yes, Mr. Chairman. For me not to be police officer. to go somewhere else because we police officers we give this out. In 2010, I was in Abuja. We attended an emergency summit of security chiefs, how to restructure the Guinea-Bissau police and the Guinea-Bissau army. I represented the then Inspector General, Mr. Francis Moon. So we do those activities that have to do with drugs and everything, human trafficking, money laundering, all of those things. That's why TOCO is there. And TOCO is a multi-sectoral component. Everybody who has spoken in this room has a representation in that particular body, which is stationed at Hastings. The first quantity of marshmallow was intercepted at the freight section of the airport. It served the civil aviation. They should be here because they are also key in that one. That freight section is where they are bringing in every contraband. They will bring it sealed. They will deliver it sealed. When I was director of crime services, I insisted that we have a police representative at that particular container section or freight section at the key. That was when we did our first interception. 3 packets of marshmallow. We charged that one to court. So when we focused at the airport, we realized that there has been a shift from the airport to the maritime domain. That was when we intercepted the then Honorable Content with 7 pistols and a large number of ammunition. I remember that matter was also charged to court. So those 2 incidents, especially the one at the key, prompted the security sector, to establish what we call the Sea Cooperative Project. That's a French-funded project which is aimed at curbing crime which takes place in the maritime domain. And I want to say that since we have an office at the key, and everybody, like I said, who has spoken here is represented. It's a multi-sectoral approach. And during that time, from that time to now, we arrested in Nigeria with 37 cartons of tramadol at the key. He was charged to court. And we also found him, when we went to search his accommodation, we found $34,000, all in fake dollars. From 2021, when we sent those fake dollars to the bank for them to examine and report, the report is still on the way. Yes, sir. 34,000 fake United States dollars. They were in the possession of the Nigerian, who was caught with the 37 cartons of tramadol. It is still there. So going forward, we stepped up our intelligence collection together with all other partners to look at these drug issues. So from that time to now, I have a good number of data in this file, just to briefly explain to you exactly what we are doing as a police. Recently, at the key, of course, we've intercepted marshmallow, we've intercepted acetone at the key. The records are there. Recently, we intercepted about 102 cartons of tramadol at the key. That one we just latest as I think it was December or January this year, last year to this year. We just bought that set of drugs on the 17th of February. We sought all. Yes, I will bought everything. Yes, and the media was there. The media was there. That was done in the presence of everybody.
We have decided not to put this on that books. We have decided I was told by the MPs and the planners that we should place everything on the books.
Mr. Chairman,
you intercepted 32 cartons.
37 cartons of tramadol at the key in 2021. Recently, 102 cartons of tramadol. Yes. On the 17th of February, there was a huge burning exercise after we've got the clearance from the law officers for us to dispose of all of those.
102.
Yes, I will tell you the figure. Yes.
No, I'm not saying you are not on it. I just asked you that all 102 were on it.
Yes, that was done in the presence of everybody. The pharmacy board was there, NGLA was there, ONS was there, everybody was there. And in my time as Inspector General, this is the second time we are burning drugs at Toku. On all occasions, members of the Fourth Estate are always present. Everybody, every partner who is involved in this fight against drugs is present. Just yesterday morning also, we intercepted 5 cartons of tramadol in Bo. We have present in our custody 3 people. They are being brought to Freetown for further investigation. That is what we are doing, Mr. Chairman. For us, the fight against drugs should not be limited to the police. It goes beyond us now. Like I said, it should be a holistic approach involving other ministries whose activities align up with ours, religious leaders, traditional rulers, community people, members of parliament, everyone should know. Even parents, like one speaker said, parents, they have a responsibility to check their children. But if you go around, you see some parents don't even have time to check what their child is doing in school, let alone to check where he goes or who he keeps company with. So for us, on a daily basis, that's what we do. These records, I will give you, Mr. Chairman, look at it carefully, you see what we have done. These records are coming from across the country. The 6 administrative police regions in Sierra Leone, all of them, I asked them to submit records. For the most recent 6 months, some submitted from January 2023 to March 2024 is there. And if you look at the records carefully, you will see the fines that are levied for those arrests. We have targeted key drug barons. For example, there was a popular drug baron at Mokeba, they call Biliten. Yes, presently he's behind bars. He has been granted bail on 2 occasions by the magistrates, and I've stood my ground that if you release him, I'm going to arrest him and keep him in the police station. Anytime he's going to court, I'll take him to court. So on 2 occasions, he has been taken back to court after he has been granted bail. I looked at the minimum fines they are imposing in the courts. I took that up with the then Chief Minister, G.A. Safar, and we brought it to the attention of the then CJ. And magistrates were called and advised to look at the laws carefully. We are lucky we have the laws. We have 2 laws, the Pharmacy Act and the new drug law of 2008. The biggest one is the new drug law. Most times, that one is very strong. It has provisions for the seizure of property as long as it is established that it is proceeds from the sale of drugs. But our courts are not good for that one. Before that, what do you do when you charge somebody to court for drugs? How can you take somebody to court for the lawful possession of 1 bag of marshmallow and you find him 1 million or 2 million? You walk out of the court swinging his hands. So we found that challenge. And that challenge, raised that man with His Excellency, and he was very passionate about it. He gave strong orders for magistrates to sit up. So for us, we've come to a few findings. Like what our speakers have said, the KUSH is actually manufactured locally. The marshmallow is imported. That one is imported. It's not grown in this country, it's imported. And that is why one of our recommendations will be, whatever it takes, at the key, there should be 100% search of every container coming in this country. We should do that one. Otherwise, we are going to miss it. And that is why we have the CCOP established at the key, because we realize criminals have shifted from the landscape to the maritime domain. So for us, this KUSH, the other precursor chemicals they used to manufacture KUSH, like they said, acetone, other issues. For us in the sector, what we have done, we have set up a monitoring system. There are industries in this country which import precursor chemicals. So what we do, they are cleared by a pharmacy board to import and the quantity they import. Then there is a mechanism for us to check how that one is being utilized. So periodically, we put a team together to go around to all of these factories which import precursor chemicals for them to give us statistics of how they are disposing of those precursor chemicals. That one is ongoing. So for the other drugs, we are not focusing only on KUSH, we are also focusing on cannabis and all of that. 2 weeks ago, we brushed 2 farms in the estate, in the hills around these things. We arrested high quantities of cannabis in vehicles across the country. As I'm talking to you, our forensic expert is involved, giving evidence of a whole lot of drug cases. And as I'm talking to you, we have cases also in the office of the Attorney General awaiting their advice. So we are saying the dealers of these drugs, they are people who reside in our communities. Yes, they are tenants to some members of the community. They know them very well. So the approach, if they want to help the situation, is for them, no matter how small the community, if somebody is in that community, for example, my village, after going 3 miles from Gweru, if anybody goes there and starts selling drugs, people will know. It's only sad that sometimes people don't want to give information. And for us, we are aware of the fact that we cannot be everywhere all the time. That is why when in 1999, when we are restructuring the Sierra Leone police, we introduced a very important component, which is the community policing. And that one is a social contract between the police and the residents of every community. So in all 36 police divisions, we have community policing boards. In those boards, what we expect is for us to discuss community challenges and use a model how to solve those problems. But you go to those meetings, residents in those communities, they don't talk about it, they don't talk about those challenges. That's why I'm holding religious leaders, traditional rulers also responsible for them. A holistic approach, everybody must come on board. So for again, the other issue we have for us in the police is when for every charge we have to prefer, every case we are investigating, is the office of the Attorney General who peruses the files and profiles charges. Most times, we send those files to that office, they are stuck there. And when they are going to the DPP's office, he's not going to look at it himself, he's going to assign those files to these small infant lawyers. And they too, they can be compromised. So those cases, lots and lots of them. So what I've done, recently I've said, we have a very strong lawyer. She is 13 years standing in the law field, in that particular field, senior state counsel. So we've said all our cases, there is nothing technical. The only technical part about drugs is the forensic analysis. When once that is done, and we determine the drug content in the substance that is under investigation, the charges are fixed. Just like if you catch somebody today with a pistol or lawfully possessing, no matter what it takes, it will run the same charge for any other person we are going to arrest with a pistol. It's the same. So we want to, maybe that's why somebody was saying the law officer the parliament should be represented, for them to know. And then again, sentences and fines for those convicted of bush, like I said earlier, they are very minimal. And I must say again that you have some people, selecting dispensation of justice in the courts. I remember I had an argument with one magistrate who actually wanted to grant me to be the most notorious Jordina in Eastern. Yes, I challenged that one. I said to him, choose between your job and raising that particular. I raised the issue up with the Chief Justice and they called his attention. They were saying, well, now make the court. You are the president of the court, but we are limited in what you do. It's the same with the fines. You have the high and the low. What they do, they go for the low. The low is just like. And for drugs, being found in possession of drugs is a strict liability offense. Even if somebody gave you a bag to carry and you are found with that bag containing drugs, you cannot explain it to us. Because the next thing that's going to happen is the person who owns the bag will never show up. That's what happens at the key. Each time you are intercepting tramadol, the owners will never show up. Each time you are intercepting acetone and marshmallow, they will never show up. So it's only the consignee who has gone to clear this particular container, and in this container, this thing was found. Yeah, and sometimes he's exonerated when you find the sent for Perusa. As far as we are concerned, before you go to clear a container the key, you must be aware of what is in the container. There's no way you can tell us, I'm not aware, I only came to clear a container. No, they should give you a manifest of what is in the container. So those are some of the things we found out. And for me, like I said, the laws are there. The new drug law is very good. So maybe what I would recommend from the Sierra Leone police side is maybe, first of all, to establish a fast track court, so that will actually help us to speedily deal with those drug-related cases. Instead of jumbling drug cases with other lasting matters, funding conversion matters, let us have the fast track court that we have done for the commercial court, so that justice is dispensed, and anybody who's there as judge or magistrate in that court will take it seriously. Because drug possession under the new drug law, they will never even grant you in the lower court. It's not possible. It's not possible, except that magistrate is corrupted. They will never grant you. You have to go to the high court, and when you go to the high court, it's not a fine you are going to pay. You are going to pay the custodian. It's going to be custodian sentence you are going to get. So if you see magistrate now, we are charging people under a new drug law. I want them to be here when I'm talking like this. I've said that several times. When we are charging under a new drug law and advancing bail, they are bypassing the system. They are making the system look very funny as far as I'm concerned. So maybe that's what they have to do, set up a fast track court to look at all of those things. And then, of course, they should impose very stiff penalties. The laws are clear. You have the low, you have the high. Go for the high. The more you go for the high, the better it is for all of us. In the area of rehabilitation, we police, what we do, we don't have a rehab school. We don't have a rehab school. What we do basically is to do our normal activities. We are doing raids, we are doing patrols, we are doing community outreach programs. Every day we have a community relations department across the board in all 38 divisions. Now we have 38. Just 1 week ago we established 2 more divisions, one in Kwendu and one in Grafton. So all of those ones, they do community outreach. They hold meetings in their communities, and all of these things we talk about are not limited to only non-violence, but to drugs and other issues, criminal aspects, the buying and selling of peoples, the buying and selling of land, all of those things come into play. So we'll continue to appeal, like I've said, for the 100% inspection, because these criminals who are importing these contraband goods, they arrest parts, they will stack them in front of the container. So by the time you've taken out like 1 ton, you get tired. So that's where the ports have to employ more labor to make sure they are doing 100% check. If they do that every day, they will find it every day, because marshmallow is imported into this country. There is no way you can tell me they grow it. It's not possible. So the key and the freight section of the port of the airport has to be on its maximum alertness. Recently, we intercepted on 2 occasions. The first occasion, 29 cartons of tramadol. They were loaded onto the aircraft from Nairobi, Kenya. The moment they loaded the 29 cartons, I have a source out there. He gave me a tip off. But I shared it to our guys at the airport. They didn't wait for us to see after we home and this stuff. We got there, we intercepted, we took it to Toku. The next day, it's supposed to be 35. The first shuttle was 29, the second shuttle was 6. When they brought the 6, staff at the airport stole the 2 cartons and fled. Yes, they stole. Westminster staff. We investigated, we called the leadership of Westminster to tell us who are those staff. When they stole the 2 cartons, they fled. They went to, I think one of them went to Turkey, Temple Run. But she didn't succeed. She has come back, but she's no longer employed by the Westminster staff. And we have a warrant in force for those 2. So they are also key in all of these things we are doing. That's why we find that we are all working together with pieces of people who try to undermine sanity in the system. So for us in the police, we will continue to appeal on every member in the sector. Everybody who has to do with the fight against drugs, they will come on board, all of us together, so that we can nip it in the bud. It's sad to see young boys, dozing in the streets. It's very sad. We are going after them. You go after them, you take them to court, they walk away, and the next day you see them going back into business. So the laws are there, the laws are strong. I appeal also to the judiciary to make sure they impose higher penalties for the desired effects. So this is it from my side. I stop so far. That's how
Thank you very much, Mr. IG. Huge allegation on the ports. Huge allegations. Thankfully, the journalists, please. Thankfully, we have the DG. We have Mr. DG on the ports. You have listened to the IG. Very huge allegation. The director, the commissioner of customs. Allegation, and you also have staff at the airports. So the allegations around, I have said, it is rumored that these drugs are imported, and the IG has confirmed that these drugs are imported, and most of them pass through the freight or through the ports. It has been confirmed. So you have a lot of talking to do to us. This is coming, we have listened to the IG, the Customs Commissioner in here, you're in charge of the ports. I don't know if you're in charge of the airport also. You're also in charge of the airport, so we have a lot of talking. We should be sincere to ourselves. The only means out of this is sincerity. If we are not sincere, if we try to cover up, we will not be helping ourselves and will not be helping the situation. because you have listened. Everybody has listened. Please, if you don't want to be part of the meeting, you leave, please. If we are not sincere, if we cover up, we will not be doing justice, we will not be doing good for the nation, for His Excellency the President, and for government, and for the people of Sierra Leone. Everybody has been sincere to us. The IG has told us clearly that marshmallow and asotol are not planted in Sierra Leone, they are imported. They are imported. They either pass through the ports or through the freights. And all of this, that is why we have decided to call NRA and the Director General of the ports. They have listened to the allegations by the Director General. And a lot of courting has taken place. They told us they arrested 102. They told us they arrested 37 Tramadol. And he has confirmed to us that if you diligently do your work, every day we are supposed to catch something. And that's what he has told us. If diligently, Mr. Customs Commissioner, if you search, the IG is saying if you search every day, we are supposed to have something that will be arrested. If you search, that's coming from the state. Honorable members, we begin with. You want us to decide? Let me begin with the chief. We ask questions. Please let us ask. Okay.
You've been here for years.
Yeah. Yes. Please take notes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for starting this ship on a very important meeting like this. Mr. Chairman, we are all in this country when we were gripped by almost 11 years interregnum. It wasted the destiny and the fortune of most of our youth for 11 years, no hope. We have again been gripped by Mr. KUSH. He's not only troubling Sierra Leone for the record, he's also troubling all our West African countries. Mr. Chairman, I was actually expecting a comprehensive and detailed statistics and data from these various stakeholders. But I did not get it, which means we have more assignment to do, because Sierra Leone is not only talking of Freetown. We have several porous borders. Go to Cambia, go to Korondi Street, go to Kalandi Street, go to Kenmabo Mwemba, porous borders. Those statistics, the data I was expecting, will help us to make informed laws. A motion has been raised, seconded, and this piece of information we've gathered so far from these stakeholders will inform us to make better laws. For your records, look at section 73(3) of this constitution. Remember, His Excellency the President, as far as section 73 is concerned, is part of this parliament now, as we speak. Mr. Speaker is part of this parliament now, as we speak. The decision will arrive at the end of the day, the plenary, if we make a good law. But let's take section 73, subsection 3. Parliament may make laws for the peace, security, order, and good governance of Sierra Leone. And this is what we are about to make. Parliament may make laws. We are worried. We are very, very worried. And we want to make these laws. It is good. We get very important piece of information from you. We are going to make these laws for the peace, for the security, for the order, and good governance of Sierra Leone. How comes we kicked out COVID-19? All of the stakeholders agreed. West Africa, globally, and here in Sierra Leone, it was kicked out. So also we all fight together to kick out Mr. KUSH. Look at what happened in Rwanda. Let me give you a case study of Rwanda. How did they fight against this youth delinquency, drug abuse? The president of Rwanda look out for a place called like Port Island across the city. Why would not go there if you don't have a boat? And you don't come from there if you don't have a boat. Can you imagine? Isolated. He made the youth to become recluse. 90 days. Within 90 days, he must learn a trade. And it's good. NIA, I'm not seeing here because we are getting all the money to come. If we are to build facilities for carpentry, nursing, painting, etc., etc., let us give us the money. We will do. 90 days, he must come with a trade. Or we abandon KUSH for good. How comes I like the IGP for the brilliant one recommendation that he gave that we create a fast track court. Come for judgment. You are captured, come for judgment. You are fined or you are jailed. And the bigger fishes, we go out for the bigger fishes. I was actually expecting names, even though it will still be allegation, but big names. If you go to American Embassy now, there was a man called GK. He was lineisted. That this man is a drug baron. At the end of the day, how did the story end? GK was captured. So I was actually expecting big names. Bring it, not go after them, but the laws that will pass in this parliament will definitely hunt them. Those stakeholders from the various MDAs, I thank you very much. I must commend you because you have got a lot of high hope now. And I'm too sure tomorrow week, by this time, laws will come from parliament and will definitely help yourself and ourselves to create a fine future for our youth. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Lieutenant. The idea said we are not considering laws. They have said we have even the regulations. These are very strict regulations, even implemented by the courts. They will handle some of these animals. Mr. Aaron, yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to join you and other colleagues in expressing sentiment in the discussion on the floor. Mr. Chairman, the issue of KUSH, of course, as we all know, it's a very serious issue. But in the midst of the challenges or in the midst of the problems that we have as Sierra Leoneans, one thing we can always celebrate is our ability as Sierra Leoneans to always come together and fight as citizens to combat any situation that faces this country. We have demonstrated this during the time when we have Ebola, the fight of
like, I don't really know, but I want to restrain myself from using the word that are disgracing the police. They are not the force for good. They are not. If I am to grade the police without shying away from the fact, I'll give them 2 out of 100. 2. Believe me. No, I am coming. Allow me to laugh. This is coming from me personally. And I have rights to my own personal opinion. I said if and only if I have the right to grade. So no, I am saying this because we don't want to
fighting in terms of fighting drugs.
That is it. I'm talking about the drugs. So this I'm saying in that direction. Because I have seen cases where, like in Bo, I'm coming from Bo, I've seen cases where people have decided to become an outlaw. They name and shame them, people know them, they take them to the police. They do not even take 5 minutes.
oh, you got go now, so person. Okay, no, make I know. Okay, go they go solve this SO2, please, with respect to Mr. We are saying this because until the police actually step up their activities, they become proactive and become the force that will really rely on to protect us. This thing will hardly stop. You know, we are talking about the port, yes. But if that business comes to the port, there's nobody to buy. There's no ready market for it. Will they clear it from the port? When it comes, there's a ready market. And there are people to protect these businessmen. That is why. Because if the police are really very sincere, this thing will come to an end. Mr. IG, women of this nation, some of us are going to be in this time because they have given me the assignments. That question must be answered by the female caucus. And we are going into this fight, and some of us are not going to shy away. When somebody is arrested and taken to the police, when they discharge, are going and discharge that police or that person, the police will be held responsible. Thank you.
IG, please take notes. Honorable Tibo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leader. Thank you very much to everyone present here for recognizing that this KUSH and other drugs are becoming a menace to society. We must act now. Let me start by joining the Chief Whip on his suggestion that we increase the demurrage period at the port. I support that view and also feel that whatever administrative process is to be conducted by government authorities or whatever at the port should not be included in the demurrage period. Meaning, if you have to take a whole week to do inspection of those containers, it should not be included in the demurrage period. The demurrage period can stand as it is, but whatever extension, whatever time you need to do your inspection, you can use that. Also, we have to exercise a bit of caution in this inspection. Even the vehicles or other things we bring to this country, once you allow inspection, these people now are the key. They will interfere with the goods that are being imported. How do we ensure that during these inspections, people's goods are not interfered with? The next thing I want to ask is a question to the Chief Medical Officer. Marshmallow. Marshmallow is a fruit just like carica, papaya, banana, mango, whatever you want to call it. Has it been declared illegal? Acetone. Acetone is also not illegal. Acetone is used as nail polish. In nail polish, it is used for paints as paint remover, etc., etc. These are all not illegal or contraband substances coming into the country. What are we going to do to ensure that these items or these substances are dealt with properly? Whether we're to declare them illegal or whether we're to declare them as contraband, we have to think carefully about those ones. Also, I have been informed that it is not just marshmallow that is used to make or to cook. That's the word they use, to cook KUSH. Are there other leaves, other fruits, other substances that we are turning a blind eye to? We're talking about the arrest or the seizure of marshmallow and acetone. What about the other substances? Someone informed me yesterday that they can use any type of leaves, even cassava leaves can be used to cook this. Kumbejara. I don't know the other name for kumbejara, but quote unquote SO2 kumbejara is used to do this thing. Again, the statistics read out by the Chief Medical Officer in 2020, it was slightly over 200 inmates, people in just one facility. In 2023, we're talking of almost 3,000. If the chain is not broken, by the end of 2024, 2025, we might be chasing 10,000 people. 75% of this is between the ages of 18 and 34. Between the ages of 10 and 34. This is the future of this country that is being destroyed. I support the view that this must be declared a national emergency. Mr. Inspector General of Police, the buck stops squarely with the police force. It stops squarely with you. When all these other people were making their presentations, they said the police have a presence in all these various places. Mr. Inspector General of Police, if 200 has turned to 2,955, I beg to say you're failing. The force is failing and the future is being destroyed. The Deputy Leader of Parliament asked a question about the ghettos in our communities. I don't know if it was deliberate or it was skillful. You did not address that. The ghettos are there, they're established in those communities. Yesterday on social media, I saw police officers acting like zombies in this police station, in these ghettos. Not just yesterday, so many a time you see on social media and other platforms that police officers, military officers are partaking in this innocuous drugs. So it's not just that they don't know where these drugs are being sold or that they know where they're being sold, they're even taking part in them. If we do not point fingers where we must, then we will fail in this, even if we declare a state of emergency forever. We must, and the police have the biggest responsibility to play in this. Without monopolizing this place, I stop here for now.
Thank you. Thank you. The concerns and questions are raised. Concerns and questions. We want reactions and we have to take a consent, please. We want reactions, so we don't pile up the questions after you start. So, hold on, we have listened to the first set of questions and concerns. I know the IG, the Director of the Commission of Customs, the DG, CMO has been taking notes. I don't think there are concerns or questions for me immediately. I will begin with the Customs, Commissioner of Customs. The allegations have been raised that these drugs are imported and they pass through the ports, the airports or the seaports. And the allegations have been raised. And we have told your CG told us you don't have time to search. You only search on information and tips that you get. And now you've had the allegations from the IG and other stakeholders. What do you have to, what are your comments? We begin with you, the Director General and the CMO and the IG. The IG, you have a range of questions and allegations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. Ladies and gentlemen, these are serious concerns, and personally, as head of customs, I'm also concerned. But I want to make some clarifications. Our work in general is based on this approach, looking at the environment we have, the port, the space, and the ship calls. For example, if you have 1,000 containers in a week, 1,000 containers a week, and we stock or stack the containers twice a day, even if we deploy all the staff to offload 120, 140-foot container, we spend the entire thing. So what is happening, what has been happening and what is happening now is we have the Asikuda software and it has a selectivity-based approach. What do I mean by that? We profile importers based on the risks associated with their consignment and the country of exports of the country they are importing from. So we have a selectivity lane that we call the red lane. It indicates that these are consignment, these are importers that pose risk not only to revenue as well as security. So with consignment on the red lane, what we do, we conduct examinations on them. The facility provided for examinations is not adequate, I confess. And we have another aspect of our function, which is trade facilitation. And most of these goods that come in are perishable goods. We don't have the facility to sustain them at the port. So what we do, we have two approaches. We can look at the scanning images and identify if there are discrepancies in the scanning images. Then we mark them for physical examination. That will be thorough. So we do site examination because it is provided by law that if there's a request from the importer that I want my consignment to be discharged at my warehouse, we send representatives from customs to witness the discharge. Also, there are other facilities allocated or given to high compliant importers, which is the blue and green lane, for example, for embassies and other international organizations. So when consignments go blue or green, they are automatically released from the port based on the compliance level. This is what is done in all custom administrations in the world. So coming to the subject matter, since I assumed office as Commissioner of Customs, I think we've had minimal incidents of this. And even with the isolated cases, we've treated them with every seriousness, and it's out there. As recent as January, there was a seizure of tramadol that was destroyed. IG mentioned it just now. This was something we followed based on the intelligence